All right. Last but not least, certainly not least, the Lounge Podcast welcomes the orchestrator, the architect of this, Miss Nickiijean.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, how are you feeling right now?
I feel relieved.
Here we go.
I feel overwhelmed with positive emotions. You don't know what it was on paper, and it came to life, and it exceeded my expectations. So.
I think there's something special about having a vision, not only for starting an initiative, a company like this, but an event takes that effort and seeing it planned on a page come into life. So I just want to say thank you for orchestrating this. Thank you for creating this. This space that needed to be is now a thing that we can now realize and say is not only here, but is growing.
Yeah.
So I do want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, give us a little background into how Life Skills Hub started and how you approached it.
Okay, so Life Skills Hub is 3 years old as of April, and it started in Hesnanada's kitchen. Hesnanada is the owner of Child Development Center, and originally she has a son that just turned 18, and so we were just like talking about like what's missing, like the fear of he's going to be an adult. What do you think we can do in this time? So by the time he really is 18, we'll be prepared for that. Right. Because that's how she started the CDC, basically based off of the needs for her son. And then we brought in a woman named Nickiijean. Then we brought in Mika and myself, and we were, just kind of chatting and kind of created that. And then, we had to switch some things around business-wise. And so Hesna, left the business. She moved to LA, and then she came back, and she was just really focusing on her business. And so now there are 3. There is myself, Nihal Al-Saleh, who is our CEO and co-founder and a parent. Her son is all in our programs. He receives all the services, and Mika is also one of the partners as well. So that's kind of how it started, and it really has evolved into something that we didn't really think that this wasn't the thought. We wanted to focus on social and vocational skills, and we wanted to be inclusive and do camps and things of that nature. But this is like next level.
And that kind of brings me to my next thought. Just throughout my conversation with folks today, there's always been a focus on children coming into the differently abled or neurodivergent stage.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, did you identify a gap, that there was this lack of a bridge between growing up with these, and then what happens when they're turning into adults, right?
Because they're cute when they're small, right? And everyone's just so receptive in all the programs. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. But then when they become an adult, it's like, oh, go sit in the house. Sorry, we can't. We don't have anything for you. And that's a problem for me, because I have been in the field for 15 years, and so my clients become like family to me. So I don't want to see my clients regress. I've worked so hard on these skills to master and to master these skills, and for them to become independent, for us to just now say, okay, sit in the house. Well, what did we do all that work for?
Right.
No, we're going to keep pushing. Right.
So when you first started this, was there any hesitation from companies looking to bridge your gap?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. A plain no.
Right.
And, that's fine. You're not for it.
Sure.
But I can guarantee that a lot of those companies are now like, oh, okay, yeah, what do we do? How can we? And I think that what we were trying to get for the companies, to help them understand that I get your no and I understand your no, but let us teach you. You don't have to say yes and be equipped. Let us equip you in that space. And so some were just like, we're just not ready. While others were like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, like we're willing to learn. The Hilton brand, they are willing to learn. Over 9 hotels in this country are willing to learn based on the Hilton brand. And we've had some amazing internships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think with change, there's always that one.
Yeah.
So who was your one in this situation?
I would say the Hilton.
Okay.
I would say the Hilton. They just, we were just trying to, have meetings and do events. And they're like, no, we want to partner. Let's get an MOU going. Here are the services. This is your home. What do you think we're missing? Let's train all the hotels. Like, they were the one that saw the bigger vision than we saw. And based on that, of course, other hotels try to, reach out to us, which has been a blessing, but we are loyal, and you have to, we're not, it's not done. The relationship is not done, and we still are learning as we're building. So we're going to stay here for now. And when we're ready to, have more than one hotel on board, then we'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a perception and stigma around differently abled folks and folks with neurodivergent disorders. What would you say to companies who are looking to bring in this type of initiative? What type of skill sets could they potentially be missing on?
Before we even get into the skill set, what I would love to see is companies changing their interview process.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How do you know? Why is that not? How can we make this more comfortable?
Yeah.
So on this, during this interview process, talking about disability, actually bringing that up. We are inclusive. What inclusive, looks like. This is what it looks like in our space. Do you have a disability? I think that will help, figure out what would be next steps as far as what they should be looking for.
Because not all of them are physical.
Exactly.
Right. So.
And they should just be looking for a human being.
Right.
So we should just look for a human being and show that this space is inclusive, and we go from there.
Right. So what are some of the challenges you've seen outside of the career space? Well, let me rephrase. What are some of the challenges you've seen aside from companies as you progress through the Life Skills Hub?
I just think that acceptance in general and stigmas, and just the community, it takes all of us. So by you staring and being oh, what's going on there? It could be different. You could ask a question, instead of assuming. So I just think that we as a community, and this is a global thing, we as a community should have a little more empathy and a little more grace for the differences that are walking around, because just because you're fine right now doesn't mean that in a few years you may now have a disability. You could get hit by a car. You can start to, develop a disorder. You just don't know what the future holds. So if we can just be kind to each other, because you might need that kindness in the future. So,
right. Yeah. And for parents who are recently, or for parents who are new to this, they've just had a child and found out that they have a neurodivergent issue or are differently abled. How have you encouraged them to get their children the extra help that they may need?
You know what? I love when I get parents that just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Because I think that when I first started this space, that was also a lot of my clients came to me when I was in the States, and I didn't have the answers for them, and I felt so bad. And so I've been in this field for 15 years. So now I have the answers, so I encourage parents to find their village, speak out, we have to get over, feeling whatever the emotions that you feel, from denial to embarrassment. This is our reality, and how do we push? So if we speak to someone, that is the first step of being able to accept and get the resources and things that you need.
Absolutely. So a little test. I want you to close your eyes.
Oh God. Okay.
Watch this. So Life Skills Hub is where it is now. Where is it in 5 years?
5 years.
Okay, you can open your eyes now.
Okay. 5 years. Life Skills Hub is all over the GCC. I think that this hub can be placed in all of the different countries. I think that Life Skills Hub will be working really closely with the governments in the GCC. So not just hey, we're a company and we're here, but no, we are leading this. We are pioneering this. We are, special experts in this space. So getting these governments, because that's what it takes, is the government also.
It's like a top-down approach, right?
There you go. Yep. So that is where I see Life Skills Hub in the next 5 years.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So I assume you wear many hats.
Yes.
Which one is your favorite hat to wear?
The therapist.
Okay.
I love getting on the floor with the kids.
And that's your background?
That's my background. Yeah. I'm a behavior therapist. I specialize in autism. So I love just directly connecting with my kiddos and the parents, doing the parent training, because that's where it really matters. That's the most impactful work for me, is working directly working on these goals, seeing them master, seeing the families, feel good about the growth. And
So when it comes to running the company, I would assume it's a bit of an army approach, right? You got to wear a lot of hats, a lot of missions.
Yeah.
What do you say to someone who's looking to join, maybe as a volunteer, just to make themselves more aware?
So honestly, we would rather someone volunteer. I think that we've learned that on paper is great, but if you really can't, turn those skills into real work, what you write on paper does not always transform into act. And so we would rather you volunteer by contacting us, 5015-1481, contacting us and coming to volunteer, because that's where you're going to really get the experience. And that's where we are going to also be able to experience you as a professional to see if this is the team for you, because it's beyond the skill. Okay. It's the team. So, yeah.
Awesome. As we wrap up here today, I do want to give you your flowers for producing an event like this, orchestrate. I know it's not easy.
Yes.
Leave us with a final thought, Nikki.
Don't give up and, stay on the race. There were so many different challenges that I experienced. And I think that that's just life, right? So when it comes to our parents that we're trying to speak to about encouraging them in this space, businesses that want to, also be more inclusive, don't give up on that first thought and mission. Yes, it's hard. No one said it would be easy, but look at what, was to come. If I would have given up, then this wouldn't, we wouldn't be here. Agreed. So just not giving up on yourself, on your child, whatever it is, do not give up.
That's awesome. What you're doing is impactful, is impacting so many people. So I do want to thank you.
Thank you.
Not even just as a podcast host, but as a friend, right?
Thank you.
So I appreciate what you've done. And that'll be it today, folks. We've had an amazing time today at this career fair. Please tune in, check in, rewatch this, share it with others. The Launch Podcast by Record On Studios. I've been your host today. We want to thank Miss Nickiijean. Y'all be good. Peace.